On this episode of the Startup Junkies podcast, we're joined by Lori Hull, founder and president of Spectrum Independence Living. Lori's nonprofit gives neurodivergent adults the tools and resources to live on their own. Tune in to hear her story. This is the Startup Junkies podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Startup Junkies podcast. Thank you for tuning in however and wherever you're tuning in from. I'm your rare solo host today, Daniel Koonce, and I'm joined here with our friend, Lori Hull. She's the founder and president of Spectrum Independence Living, also known as SpIndL. Lori, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. The way we kind of like to start these things off, give us my boss likes to call it Wolverine origin story. Give us the Lori origin story.
Okay, the Lori origin story. I love that. I am a parent of a young adult with autism.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been through 22 years of understanding the lack of services in areas where we need them, some of the struggles that we've had, we've seen other parents go through as well. And that's really what's brought me to where I am today, is trying to provide a service that is not available in our area. And I want to make it affordable.
Yeah.
So that's my story. And there's more depth to it, but that's in a nutshell is I've seen what we need and we're here to bring it.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about SpIndL. What do you guys do? When were you founded? And what was kind of the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration is my son.
Mm-hmm.
We have struggled with finding the services that we need. So that's the inspiration, and I'll talk more about that. SpIndL is about helping young adults with autism to become independent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be done through life skills coaching, supported employment, supported housing, and social opportunities.
Yeah.
When people with autism and other neurodivergent conditions graduate from high school, they go through what's called a services cliff. And there's just nothing available to help them find jobs. They might have some services available through different agencies, but they're usually in a small particular area, maybe to help them write a resume or something like that. But they need help actually going out and finding the job and giving them the confidence. They might still need to work on those skills for independent living. And they just need a lot more support than what they're being offered. And so a lot of times they end up at home sort of failing to launch because they're losing confidence, not having the services to help support them as they grow into or toward independence.
Right.
So that's what SpIndL is about, is to provide those services to help these guys actually step on up out of the parent's home and into living independently, living the life that they want to live.
Right. So after high school, there aren't those resources. Were there a bunch of resources like in elementary school, middle school, high school, or still kind of not so much?
Through the schools, you do have some services through the special education system, and you have occupational therapists, maybe speech therapists, physical therapists. There are therapists in the school.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have independent therapists you can use, speech therapists, occupational therapy. Those are outside of the school system as well. But a lot of those services kind of wear off, as they grow into teenage years and adulthood.
Yeah, they're adults. They're good now, right?
Right. And, they're high functioning. We don't like to use that term anymore. We like to call it low support needs. But that doesn't mean no support needs.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're finding is those supports are not available, at least not in Arkansas. They're hard to find. What we found was there are organizations throughout the country, mostly on the East Coast and West Coast, but there are organizations that are called transitional programs to help them transition from high school to adulthood or to college. They're out of state. So you have to send your young adult out of high school to another state, and then they're very, very, very expensive. And some of these programs are over $4,000 a month.
Wow.
For, room and board and the life skills coaching, the tuition. So that's very expensive.
Very
and
expensive.
Obviously that is not affordable to most families. So that's why I'm bringing this to Fort Smith to make it affordable. So that's why I'm doing it the nonprofit route, trying to provide those services that you can find in other states, bringing it to Arkansas, and available, accessible to all families.
Yeah. So you keep saying living independent. What does that necessarily look like for somebody on the spectrum?
Okay. So when I say living independently, I mean literally living in an apartment, paying your own bills, going to work, providing for yourself, having your own income from your own job, paying your bills, living life, making your own decisions. That's independence.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes we might need a little bit of support, someone checking in with us, maybe reminding us of how to do things, such as maybe taking care of their bank account, little things. Sometimes we all need a little extra support,
course,
right, from other
Yeah.
people. So that's what I mean by independence. I do mean fully independently living where you're making your own decisions and you're coming and going as you please and making your own choices, taking care of yourself.
Yeah, because it's entirely possible. It just might need a little hand.
Right. And I did see a statistic. It's a little hard to believe, but I saw a website that said 5% of people with autism live independently.
Okay. And we need to bump that up.
Yes. But it also said that 79% could.
Yeah.
And so there are some who are not going to be able to live independently, but the majority could. And that's what we want to do, is to help them see that they can live independently.
So for that 79%, what's kind of the most common barrier you've seen?
Jobs, not being able to find jobs. They do a lot of times have social deficits and challenges.
Right.
And so that makes it hard to set a good impression when you're being interviewed for a job. Even people with a college education with autism, they have an 85% unemployment rate.
Wow.
That is the highest unemployment rate of all disabilities.
Wow.
Isn't that staggering?
That's staggering. Yeah.
So we need to do something about that.
Yeah. So kind of the social interaction, that's a big part of it. I saw on your website that you guys are doing a social game night actually tomorrow. And when the episode comes out, it'll be, a couple weeks in the past, but you're doing a social game night. Why are these organized social events so important?
That's a great question.
Well, thank you.
First of all, after high school, a lot of these individuals hang out at home and don't get much social practice. They choose to be alone a lot of times, or they're not confident making friends. They're not confident in big social settings. And so they lose the practice where most of us are out networking and talking and hanging out with our friends and practicing our social skills, whether we know it or not. And they're losing that practice.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do, is provide this service so that they have opportunities to make friends and practice those social skills. And of course, we're there to guide. It's not going to be just an open, free-for-all networking event like you might go to with the Chamber of Commerce or other wonderful organizations or Startup Junkie. We go to these and we all kind of stand around and we have to kind of be brave and go talk to people and just introduce ourselves. Well, they're not as confident.
Right.
And we want to provide this opportunity to come together and meet people, but in a safer, friendlier, lower pressure type of atmosphere.
Is that why an activity like a game is so important?
And it gets them there. What is fun for them? Fun can mean all kinds of things. It could be karaoke. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It could be playing board games. It could be Dungeons and Dragons. It could be video games, singing, whatever. They all like different things, so we want to do different things as we go forward. We're going to try to hold these monthly and figure out what do they want to do. But we thought a game night,
it seems like good middle ground. Who doesn't like a game night?
Who doesn't like a game night? So we wanted to start there, and we're going to do that at Contender Esports in Fort Smith, thinking that video games and maybe some board games and just having some support to guide them along the way will give us a good start.
Yeah. So we don't know which board game in particular?
Not yet. We'll
figure it
out. Yeah.
So you're talking about your affordable solutions. Tell me a little bit about them.
Okay, so we are starting this fall to teach life skills.
Okay.
We will be teaching things like communication skills, job readiness skills. We will have private pay. We will have a fee for those coaching classes.
Mm-hmm.
But not all families can afford that fee. It is a lower fee than what you're going to see in some areas. But we will have scholarships. So we will meet families where they are to make sure it's affordable so that it is accessible to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to talk about, what are some of the challenges that maybe family members of somebody who has neurodiversity, what are some of those challenges for family members as they get older?
So some of the challenges, for instance, I'm a mom.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big challenges was just getting through school and working through the school system and trying to find the services
Mm-hmm.
that you need. I think that's the biggest challenge, is finding services and feeling a little hopeless at times when you don't find them.
Mm-hmm.
So a lack of services is probably the biggest challenge. That and trying to help them find jobs that they're going to be happy with.
Right.
You want them to be happy and doing something that they're really good at, but you've got to get them in the door somewhere. But it can't be mommy
Mm-hmm.
and daddy helping them in the door. We don't go to those interviews with them.
Yeah.
And it's scary and it's frustrating and it's sad to see our kids struggle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge challenge, is watching our kids struggle or to be discouraged.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'm sorry for asking such a sad question, or I'll give you a chance here to brag about your son. Tell us a little bit about the project he's been working on the past couple of years, and maybe just explain it a little bit more to me. He's been doing something awesome on Discord, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I hope he doesn't mind my sharing this. He was 15 years old when he created a Discord bot. It's an image manipulation bot. I think at one time it did music as well. I don't think it currently does, but it is a very popular bot that's used on Discord. Individuals can install it and use it, or you can install it on servers. And July 4th weekend, he hit the 1 million individual user installs threshold since Discord started tracking those last year. So we don't know how many have actually installed it, but that was 1 million individual user installs since sometime last year.
Yeah.
It's on over 480 some thousand servers. I don't know how many users per server, that, there's no telling.
Right.
But it's been on favorites list. He tells me that's not a big deal, but we've seen someone actually advertise their favorites list, and it was just funny that his bot was on that favorite list.
Wow.
But it is a popular product. At one time, Discord for a short period had a suggested feature for when you were doing something, and it was one of those suggested features for working with images. So it's
just
popular.
Because of how popular it is.
It's just a popular bot. So he's had that going for 7 years now. He is a team of one.
Mm-hmm.
He created it. He's maintained it. He's enhanced it. He's gone through performance tuning over the years. And it's just a well-loved product.
Yeah.
And he gets donations for that to help support it.
That's awesome. Based on my math, you have 1 million users in the past year. Sounds like you've had 7 million users in the past 7 years, based on my math. I don't know if that tracks for you.
High, but I like that math.
No, I think 7 million is a good number.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, let's go with 7 million. That's awesome. It sounds like he's doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Are you an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur looking to get plugged into the ecosystem? We host a ton of events designed for education, inspiration, and collaboration, from weekly meetups to quarterly events like pitch competitions and annual events like our marquee event, the Startup Crawl, which is the largest startup party in Arkansas. Check out our event page on our website, sign up, and we'll see you there.
So I asked earlier, when was SpIndL founded?
We incorporated last July.
Okay.
July of 2024. We finally received our 501c3 approval in June of this year. So it took almost
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It took us almost a year to get to that point where we can start receiving donations that are tax deductible to the donor. So we are now ready to get started.
So we're ready to take off.
We are.
So you started, a little over a year ago. Tell us about your team. Is it just you?
I have a board of directors.
Okay.
We are currently a board of 8 directors, including myself. And so they're my biggest helpers right now. We are actually hiring 2 part-time people right now so that we have someone in the office that can do intakes with families. We have someone working directly with our clients to teach them the life skills over the next several weeks. And so that's exciting, but we also have volunteers. Different people have contributed in different ways to help get us going.
That's exciting. It sounds like you have a good team surrounding you.
I do.
And it's growing, which is always a good sign.
Yes. People are excited when I tell them what we're doing, and people want to get involved, and that's very exciting.
Right. So tell us a little bit about what you personally have learned, in the past year as a president of an organization like this.
Oh, that's a great question.
Give me knowledge. Let me have it.
Well, I come from a corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
A nonprofit is very different.
It's very different.
So I've learned the steps of creating a nonprofit. So I love how I can go contribute that to someone else starting a nonprofit. I can kind of guide them, show them where the checklists are and how to get started, give them some wisdom that this is not going to be overnight. I don't care how fast and how hard you're running. You're going to have to hurry and wait.
It might take a year.
To get that. It might take a year. You hope not, but it could. And then you need to start competing with other nonprofits for money.
Right.
We have to go out and we all have to fight for the same money. And I don't mean to say fight. I don't like that word, because actually nonprofits help each other. It's beautiful. I am friends with nonprofits up here in Northwest Arkansas doing something very, very similar, and we're helping each other out. I love it. Nonprofits are beautiful. It's just a very neat experience to have after, a corporate life.
Yeah.
Corporate life is fun too. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
But this is different. One thing that I've also learned is you cannot do it yourself. So your power can expand exponentially by pulling in helpers.
Right.
So I'm reading a book called Who, Not How. And it is all about finding the right people to do all those things, especially the things you're not comfortable doing or the things that other people can do better. Find those people that can do all of those other things. Let you focus on what you do the best, and you're going to take off.
Right.
So you cannot do this all on your own. And I've tried. I've got a great board, but I've also been the one doing the heavy lifting, you might say. And it becomes hard and you feel a little bogged down until you start.
Discouraged a little bit.
Yeah, you get a little discouraged. And I've been there thinking, what have I done? What have I done? I can't do this. But you can. You put one foot in front of the other, and you may not know how to do it all, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You keep learning along the way, and you pull in other people that are smarter than you, and you're going to do it.
You just drop some great advice for all the entrepreneurs and aspiring business owners out there.
Right.
And I don't know if you saw the parallel to what you said earlier. Sometimes we all just need a hand,
Yep.
So I love that parallel. Well, we were talking before the camera started rolling about what the future kind of looks like. Tell us what the next 5 years look like for SpIndL.
Okay. This is where it gets exciting.
Right.
Right now, we're starting small. We're wanting to offer those social events. We want to offer life skills coaching so that we can get people out of the home and back to learning. Then we want to expand that into giving that job support, getting out in the community and working on getting them jobs. But to do that, I need the community helping to support us. I need people to give them jobs. I'm currently working on an alliance between organizations. I'm working with the Arkansas Workforce Center, Arkansas Rehabilitation Services, different agencies, workforce employment agencies, maybe the Center for Economic Development through University of Arkansas, Fort Smith, the Medical College. I have all of these connections and I want to bring them together
Right.
to create this alliance on where do we send them for help and when. They get out of high school, and these are the steps that we want to walk our individuals with autism through. And by the way, when I say autism, I'm not just talking about autism, neurodivergent conditions,
Right.
because there are other conditions that also have these same barriers. So I want this alliance to come together and everyone agree we want to solve this problem and get them jobs, and we want to support companies as they're hiring our friends. We want to support them while they're doing it and train them to do it well. Mm-hmm. The next step is we want to get these guys out into apartments. So next year we want to get them out into apartments of their own, maybe with a roommate, paying their own bills, living independence, practicing independence. Mm-hmm. But we're probably going to work with a partner in the community for renting apartments from.
Yeah.
Longer term, I would love to do a 2-year learning academy for this transition type of school from high school to independence in a dorm setting. So have a dorm setting with the large kitchen that's shared and the boys and the girls side. Getting them all into this one place where they're living and learning to live independently, going through this college-type atmosphere of taking these life skills classes, graduating after 2 years in our academy, and then moving on into independence and employment. Mm-hmm. And then the long-term vision is I would like to create a neurodiversity supportive community. And there's actually one being built outside Fayetteville right now, and I'm so excited about it, but I don't know why Fort Smith could not do the same.
It feels like the community could also be kind of a shorter goal too. Because if you're trying to build this alliance, I feel like the community is going to come with it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. So the ideas around that, the one outside Fayetteville, you've probably heard of SLS Community and the Cato Springs Project. And I was so inspired about what they are doing. And I have visited other places around the country as well. It's so exciting to see what they're doing. If we can provide a town square type of concept where you have businesses that will hire people that are neurodivergent, you've got industry in the area, you've got public transportation, you've got housing of different kinds, whether it's houses or apartments, maybe a group home for those who have higher support needs, and have neighbors that are looking out for each other. It's just a beautiful concept that we're seeing actually going up around the country. And I would love to do this in our River Valley area. That's my long-term vision.
Yeah. And I can see it. I can vision it. I see these steps that you're taking, and I see the passion you have behind it. And I know for a fact it's going to work out.
I think
everything you're saying, like, I completely see it clearly. Let us know seriously how Startup Junkie can help out.
Okay.
If there's a way, you can come to me directly. We'd love to help out however we can.
Fantastic. I love that.
But so we've taken a look into the future. The way we like to wrap these episodes up, we like to go to the past.
Okay.
Lori, hop in a time machine. Go tell younger Lori a piece of advice. What would it be? It could be Lori from yesterday. It could be her from 20 years ago. What would you tell yourself?
That's a great one. I actually have a speech that I like to give to caregivers who are going through what I went through. Mm-hmm. I have a fascinating son that has some wonderful talents, but I'm not going to deny we've had some very rough years. Mm-hmm. And I've had some very low years personally and went through some deep depressions. You go through this time where you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. You're not finding the help. You're not finding change that you need to see. So I have learned that everything has a season. Even though you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's probably down there somewhere. Mm-hmm. You've got to ride the season sometimes. Get all the help you can. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, making sure you do take time off once in a while, get some respite care, whatever it takes. Get away with your spouse if you're married. Make sure you're taking those breaks and time for you so that you can recharge.
Yeah.
Don't forget yourself. But you also need to remember nothing lasts forever. Everything has a season. And things may not ever go away completely, but sometimes those clouds get a little lighter and the pressure's a little lighter. where you get a little bit of a break and a little bit of a breath. Just remember, things aren't forever. And you will get through this. And you do. And I did. And I'm still working through challenges, but it's a much brighter day today than it was 15 years ago, for sure.
That's great advice, not only for people who are in a similar situation to you, but to everyone, small business owners, even people in corporate life, just working a normal job. They've got stuff going on. That's some pretty awesome advice there.
Thank you.
So if any of our listeners or watchers, they want to learn more about you or learn about SpIndL, where should they go?
Oh, great question, Daniel. Thank you. We would love to have people reach out to us. We have an email that's info@spindlrivervalley.org. We also have a website, spindlrivervalley.org. SpIndL does not have an E, so it's SpIndL for Spectrum Independence Living. So SpIndL without an E, rivervalley.org.
Cool. We'll make sure to add those to the show notes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. This has been an awesome episode. Usually we have more hosts than just me, but it's one-on-one. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah. We remind our viewers or listeners, check out SpIndL, hit up Lori, help them out wherever you can, or if you want to learn more. And to also just check out the Startup Junkies podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Daniel.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share with a friend. Subscribe and review because it matters to us and we want to hear from you. If you're interested in learning how to work with us, check out the information below. See you next week.